Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to another game of Sept of the Halloween Winds, a campaign setting with Veronica and her inferior friends in a venue that Lindsay
Damn
hosts.
it.
Tonight, we are going to be dealing with Veronica initiating some of her battle plans by speaking to some individuals that will help make sure that the Thunder Worm is taken care of, as well as the hive that is nestling in its gullet. She is being accompanied by one of her packmates to the rooftop to find somebody that she could collaborate with.
So Victor will look over at her as they are doing as Shadow Lords do.
Victor does not break fourth wall and hear how I intro the scene.
No. he just looks at her and is like, the closer and closer we get to needing to set this plan off, the more chaotic it becomes.
I also feel that's why it's a good idea to also get different insight.
I'm not.
But I appreciate the point you're making. Not to mention, there's been a few cases people have made it simpler, so it's not as chaotic.
I've trained in a Konietzko for this.
So we're meeting someone that I know named Backwards Compatible. He is a glasswalker.
Uh,
I don't believe he'll have an issue with you burping.
He smiles.
So let's get on the rooftop.
He is a spry young thing. It is actually not hard for him. He is all but a boy of 19. So bounce, bounce, bounce.
Yep. He is younger than Veronica.
On the rooftop, you would find a youngish man standing up there, Asian in appearance, currently wearing what looks to be gym shorts, really good running shoes with a decent grip, and a loose t-shirt, currently doing stretches.
Tilt his head at him.
He'll look over after a moment, tilt his head to the side.
Veronica, that's not a Shadow Lord. We have to introduce ourselves. Just softly.
Strikes with lightning, Raya. I see you brought a guest this time.
I have. He's another Ragabash. Looks at Victor.
He smiles softly, enigmatically. Like he is bleeding Shadow Lord pure breed. And he'll look back at Veronica. He remembers that he is in front of someone that he needs to introduce himself to. And he'll say, "I'm Victor Donovan, undeeded yet. I was born to a man and a woman under no moon to the Shadow Lords, and I am a Clea." I am the nephew of Yuri Konietzko.
Just a placid expression on Backwards' face as he begins rattling off his own. Jong-Lee. Backwards compatibility. No moon. Child of cockroach. Cleath. And surprised by the fact that Strikes with Lightning Raya brought her packmate this time.
I protested the whole way. He'll shake his head. He didn't. Just being sarcastic. She told me there would be punch and pie. I am disappointed. There is no punch and pie.
You trusted a Shadow Lord. She just looks at Victor in a serious look.
I need you to bear in mind that I have the backside of a horse to shove you into if I really need it. Respectfully, Veronica Rhea. He'll smile at her.
You never come up here to speak about anything that's too off subject, so I take it something either dire has happened or the sept is on fire.
Oh, but let us tell you why.
The warder of the Sept has made me alpha of the Thunderworm mission.
Victor, by the way, will sit down and lean against something, smiling up at them. He is actually not a big fellow. He's only about like 5'3" or so, and he's wearing like all black, like black jeans, boots, a black long sleeve shirt with like a pea coat over it, and he's just looking up at them.
Knowing what I can do, I take it that you're not asking for my forward operating abilities.
You're also good at scouting.
That's what I figured.
It's up to you if you wish to take it, but it would be helpful.
Honestly, as knowing the capabilities I do of some of my sept mates, I would be hard-pressed to not accept your gracious offer.
Excellent.
After all, the ones that I do know about have a tendency to rush in, so their version of scouting would look a lot more like what you and I were doing, except fewer survivors.
As well as I'm worried they will draw attention.
You want to kill a thunderworm subtly.
I also want to gain before killing the Thunderworm. Well, we're doing something more clever. Because I talked to the Octena, there is a way to purify the Thunderworm. So this way it could expel the spirals out of its gullet. That they don't have a Karen. They don't have a Thunderworm protecting them, and we could pick them off.
I foresee two problems with this mission from the get-go.
Okay.
One, we purified the thunderworm. The black spiral dancers are within. They jump out. We lose roughly 50% of our forces because we don't know what they have.
That's why I want to do a scouting mission. So we can learn about what they have before making an attack.
The second problem I see with this operation is a little bit stranger, perhaps, but it's going to be difficult to get human intelligence unless we bring at least one of them back.
That's what I was hoping to do too. Actually, the Geta Fenris, I have a Geta Fenris that's working with me. He thought of the same thing.
Well, then I say a 4-man team at most.
I agree with that idea. The other thing I've been doing, prepping in this mission, there are some Theurges that are working with me. Any Gnosis we're not using, I have been supplying with them so we can create talents to make sure we could be cleansed or healed. The
Well, I plan on, if we're going in, getting very dirty in advance.
Yeah, this is going to be really gritty. I do know that.
We won't be able to bring any silver with us. That'll be a dead giveaway.
It will be.
So you need someone with a weapon that can't be detected. A person who can't be detected. But you would be leading this operation, yes?
Either I would or Aldehyde would be.
Lost Smile, Raya. He's good at infiltration.
As well as certain tactics. If he can't do the infiltration, I told him I would find people to direct them. That's also why I brought the packmate. Aragabash.
I'll look up at her, huh? I was a million miles away. What did you say?
Out of game we were talking about infiltration.
I didn't know that's in game. In game, he was
Okay.
like, "What? I was a million miles away. What'd you say?"
I thought you were right here the whole time.
No, yeah, physically, but mentally, I was off skipping through the same fields you and Petra do when he's off in his little mindscapes. Imagine whatever. What's up?
Oh, well, since you're speaking of that game, I need you to pull a scout or a spy.
Yes.
They like Team Fortress too.
He smiles.
So, you guys have the ability to get in, undetect it. I need you to find a way to either survey the surroundings and capture a spiral.
That's all.
For now, yeah.
You remember how earlier today I was talking about folding someone and shoving them up a horse's ass? I have a feeling I'm about to get shoved up a thunderworm's ass.
Probably not.
Want to be really sneaky about this?
Sure.
Run 2 different operations. For Guru, their job is to stay outside the Thunderworm. They wait. They wait till one of the spirals leave, because they have to leave eventually. The reason you have 4, 2 in the Umbra, 2 physical. Once one group spots them, the second man warns the other side. You trail the Black Spiral Dancer back to wherever they go for whatever Black Spiral Dancers do when they're not being Black Spiral Dancers, and you've captured one of them. Safely. You don't even need people who are good at sneaking around for that. Ambush him in mid-travel.
I like that.
The second group consists of only sneaky people who are good at getting inside without being seen. Those 4 handle learning the lay of the land, bring that back, and set it up.
And I remember when we were getting a scar for the first change, you brought up various points with the lay of the land that people don't think about. Which is why I wanted to talk to you. Which is why I felt it was a good idea to talk to you.
Because I might know someone who has some skills. Well, trolls.
Oh, her, yes. She would be very good at this.
She would be the first one on my list. Cora would not be on my list for this.
At the moment, yeah, Cora would be good at making tailends to make sure we could pull this off so we could heal midway or whatever we need.
Potentially, yes. I assume, Victor, you
No,
have some sort of knack for our kind of wet work.
yes.
And if we need it, I can get some Bastet. Cats are useful.
I bet they can be. But may I make another pitch?
Of course.
Don't make a talon that can heal. Make a talon that allows you to disappear. And not in the physical realm, but on the Umbra.
I'm sure that something like that can be arranged. We do know many people that can find a way to make that happen too, probably. Right, Victor?
I want to set attack Nugoff on it, but you said no.
Out of game, I didn't hear you.
He said I wanted to set attack Nugoff in it, but you said no.
Verada doesn't even know what to say at this point to you.
Why do you take away my good things? Why are you the death of all things good?
May I make the recommendation for Sasha?
To set off attack nuke in it?
No, to bring a Theurge, Crescent Moon, for close-in umbral reconnaissance while we're going through the Thunderworm. Combined with, say, a talon that allows her to vanish, her understanding of genetics would prove most useful, perhaps. If not Sasha, then I'm sure you know another Crescent Moon who is capable.
We have Selenia as well as Theo. Victor, would you just be happy if I let you dance in a pool of blood?
Like at your wedding?
Yes.
Yes. Immensely. That was fun. But where did you ever find 5,000 people to slaughter to fill that pool?
Grandpa Thunder only knows.
Oh, God. You gotta have faith, faith, faith. Oh, gotta have faith, faith, faith. Anyway.
Well, then, I think that would be make for a good team for infiltration. And then for grabbing, I think that Lost Smile Raya, yourself, calls the heart to dance in a twisted sort of logic, I think would work.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, Cora needs some experience. Capturing a Black Spiral Dancer sounds just like the thing that she needs.
He'll tug at Veronica's pant leg, like, pay attention to me.
She glances over at him with a serious look.
I'm just going to point out to you that if you happen to bring Dominic Carlo a test subject, oh my God, you know he would be happy with you.
Oh, I know he would be. Out of game, that is one plan.
So maybe are we agreed? Is this a good suggestion?
It is a good suggestion. I do like this plan.
She smiles and nods.
It also keeps individuals who seem to have some skill at working together, I believe, in a group.
And it allows for us to bring unity, which is what we need more of.
I could poke a few holes in it, but to be honest, any plan that survives contact with the enemy intact is fiction, so he'll shrug.
Well, no aspect of my plan involves anything hard and set, now does it?
Exactly.
Which brings me to the final portion. You can't be Alpha leading the infiltration mission. You'd have to pick someone who you trusted. And I believe the only way to determine who is the best to lead that operation involves a particular challenge. So once we have the 4 people assembled, they should undergo we'll call it a team building exercise, where
What, huh?
out of the game, what did you say?
No, he said we do what, huh? But then he took a deep breath. He's listening.
Out of game, he's an ass.
We
He
figure
can
out
be a little assy, yes.
who's going to be Alpha by having a challenge of who is the best one at coordinating a stealth operation.
Victor will raise his hand and say, "May I opt out of this part of the package? No one ever needs me leading anything."
Which is precisely why you might make a good leader.
Oh, God.
The only one who should probably be opted out of it is me.
Why?
He looks over at Veronica. I believe Strikes with Lightning Raya understands my particular skill set often has me away from the unit while within close proximity, circling, roaming, operating as a loose end.
He'll smile and shrug.
A leader should be present, accessible, someone who understands the difficulty of the operation. And in this case, probably should be an individual guru who this could be both an important lesson, given our respective ranks, at becoming a leader, being someone who rises up, and takes the reins in a way that helps them grow. We're all warriors of Gaia, and none of us have a particular moon that says we are the only one who can lead. So we all have to be prepared for that eventuality.
I cannot believe you actually held my attention for that entire spiel. He looks at Veronica like, holy fuck.
I don't talk often.
Jesus Christ, Silent Bob. He tugs at Veronica's bag.
Looks at him.
Did your husband eat all your snacks?
Probably.
He'll tug at her bag, like, permissively.
He can look in the bag to see if there's snacks.
He pulls out, like a half-mashed bag of, like, trail mix kind of at the bottom. Hand her back her bag. Thank you. Pop it open. Nom some. I think, and I don't know how this works out. I swear to God, I don't know how this works out. But when I'm off the field, I am terrible. And Veronica can tell you this. Oh my God. But when I'm on the field and I'm actually put like in a position of go, oh, do I go? Probably keep my ass around, isn't it? He'll look up at Veronica.
She smirks.
Well, then, related to your husband.
If right now Strikes with Lightning Raya was to die,
His jaw drops. His brows wrinkle. No.
we get ambushed. 2 shots are fired. I'm injured. Your alpha's dead. What do you do?
Me?
Yes.
Oh shit, I default to the beta.
No, you're the only one on this rooftop, I see.
Oh, dear
Unless
God.
your beta is hidden somewhere present, at which point in time I apologize, Strikes with Lightning Raya, for not introducing myself to him.
You see, this is why I'm gonna die young. He looks up at Veronica. I really don't see fostering, okay?
This is why we're making a plan.
Put so many hopes and dreams into me. The tribe, look how that worked out for them.
This is why we're making plans. And this
I
is
really
why
appreciate your scenario backwards compatibility. My brain is not what's the word I'm looking for here? It doesn't think in enough abstracts to form a scenario for you. Should have really done high school.
All right, I'll make it simpler. They were bullets that were fired made of silver. I'm injured. I'm lying on the ground. Your alpha's dead. You have plenty of options at this point.
he's asking, what do you do if you find yourself alone?
Wow. He'll shake his head. This is why. Okay.
He will walk up to Victor, place a hand on his shoulder. Only Veronica knows this so far. He's not touched anyone. Up in the 3 months he's been in the SEP so far. So this is why learning to lead is important. Because one day it could happen. Everyone who you consider competent is dead. You'll be alone. The Guru Nation won't matter at that point. Your tribe won't matter.
A blink.
The relationship you have with your totem won't matter. We're Guru. And even the most Hamid of us have a spark, he says, moving his hand to his chest with one finger, of that primal instinct. You said that you don't think abstractly enough. I believe it was Lupus who taught me this. You don't have to be.
Victor will soften a little bit. And he'll kind of look at Veronica and shake his head. First thing I'd do, I sweep the perimeter. Then I'd see if there are any threats. Then I'd probably check and assess injury, try to find cover. He'll kind of like smirk at him and shake his head. There's strength when one thinks you're a fool. And he'll give him a soft smile. It's one of those things where you suddenly just realize he is not as like foolish and stupid as he like plays himself off to be. And your character speaking the way he did and like connecting with him and actually reaching out to him like made him drop his wall to like kind of show your character that he's not that stupid. He respects you a little more now, so he'll let you see more of his actual demeanor. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. But he follows with, I never thought you were a fool at all.
I'll do a damn good job trying to portray myself as one. You'd be amazed at what people will do when they underestimate you.
You are a grandchild of Thunder. You have the trust of Strikes with Lightning Raya to be included in a pack with her. I know her opinion of someone who actually is reckless, who doesn't consider their actions. And I've seen how she interacts with others when it comes to inviting them to places or seeking counsel. For me to assume you were a fool would be for me to not understand Strikes with Lightning Raya's modus operandi.
I'll actually get a, well, damn, look on his face.
By the same token, I know that it's true that you don't want to lead, because you prefer, like me, to operate in the shadows, a degree of free reign.
He'll nod.
However, if I had to guess, between the two of us, you operate more effectively in those shadows. You know more of the tricks, more of the trade.
He'll nod.
Which is why you should not be excluded from the challenge.
Jong-Lee sees him agree. I don't think I'll win, but I think I would definitely be healthy competition.
You have a better chance than I do, depending on the challenge that Strikes with Lightning Raya picks for us, considering she is, of course, the alpha.
I'll think of one in due time that would be appropriate.
He'll smile over at Veronica, kind of softly.
The only thing I know for certain is that should we run into an engagement, it's important for you to know that you can trust I can engage any single threat on my own and come out on top.
She gives a look to Victor like he's not. He could back this up.
He'll nod.
And that is why I can't lead. I apologize for speaking so much for you, Raya.
That's fine. I don't have an issue. It's important to get different perspectives. Me as a Galliard, I function very differently than a Ragabash.
It was about a week ago, maybe 2 weeks. Someone asked what a no moon does. What it means to be a no moon. I guess we're going to find out.
And it'll be perfect to do so with this kind of mission. I am going to mention out of game. I'm going to mention one thing. Actually, no, I'm not going to mention it. I don't need to mention it. Never mind. I will think of an appropriate challenge for the people in the reconnaissance mission for the scouting. I'll talk to Aldehyde for capturing a spiral. So this way we have most of our bases covered and we can obtain information.
And out of game, that will also allow more people to participate
Yeah.
in this in a logical fashion without us running 8 people stumbling over each other in a stealth scene.
Yep.
Jong-Lee will nod his head towards Veronica. Is there anything else you needed from me?
Not at the moment.
Very well then. Right, if you would like to join me in some rooftop exercises, then I would be most grateful to have your company. But if there are things that you and your packmate need to be doing or would prefer to do other than leaping around the jungle, I do understand that as well.
She nods.
I assume that's a good place to end scene.
Yep.
Yes.
All right. So ends another game of the Sept of Howling Winds. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. Have a good night.